Hello and welcome, it's time for the penultimate round of JV West. Season 3 here at Buenos Aires. Let's look at the grid before we start qualifying. Pro line will be starting from the top, then Smalls, Tifoli, Boken, Ellie, Emma Box, Botti, Gamer15, Mr. Crunk, Cloud finishes the top 10. Edraditos, Masker Bravus, Charge GT, G4, Hypercraft, Razim, Shiloh, Juan, and then Kader from last for this qualifying. Let's take a look at the token spent before we move on to qualifying. We've got 4 tokens being spent by Masker Bravus, by Botti, and by Ellie, by Botti notably. I forgot about this during the upgrades. Botti is also Argentinian, and this is his home race, as well as G4's. However, G4 is only spending 1 token, 3 tokens being spent by ProLime, 2 tokens being spent by Gamer15, by Smalls, by Tifole, by Kraft, and by both Boken and Emma Box of Burger Koloski, and 1 tokens being spent by G4, by Hyper, by Edraditos. And yeah, that's it. The rest of the drivers spending no tokens. So we've got our main 3 here, Maska, Botti, and Ellie, all of them spending 4 tokens. And let's take a look at the car stats. So you can see Flying Fox at a 4.2 rating, Audio Costa at 3.8, and Electric Racing at 3.3. So very different cars in terms of quality. And we might, of course, see some other car like the Monkey, who have nearly caught Russell and have surpassed Flying Fox in terms of the car performance index. They're spending spending 2 tokens, so we might see a good performance from him. Who knows what will happen? But let's get right into the qualifying now without any further ado. Here we are for the Argentinian J-Prix. Here we go then, 4 minutes on tire wear free. God, that's nice. ProLime starts us off and he's got a fast start. He's spending 3 tokens, of course. Defole spending 2. And the avionics car has really upgraded double Excel success for this round, and it's a 3.9 in the car performance index now. Driving the final turn here, and looks like Smalls has gotten away. Smalls, oh, Ellie with a 34.25, Botti right behind him, 34.30, and then Masco with a 34.35, so as the 4 token spenders currently occupying the first 3 qualifying positions, though of course Kraft is tied with Masca, and he's only spending 2 tokens in the Matsar, so that is quite interesting. Might be a track suited to the Matsar car. Kader and Shiloh currently 17th, 18th. Now on the second lap of qualifying, will we see any improvements? ProLime up to 5th. Up to 5th for ProLime, and that is definitely the biggest improvement we've seen. No change in the top 4. Emma Box, I think, improved to 6th as well. And will this be their end lap? Let's find out here. Emma Box and Boken 6th and 7th currently. Solid stuff for Bergy Kolowski. No, they're not in. Ellie is in. Emma Box is in. ProLime and Smalls still out. Doesn't look like they'll improve. Tifoli's out. And here comes Ellie and Emma Box behind him. Let's see what they can do on those brand new fresh softs halfway through the qualifying session. This hairpin looks like that turn will be a bit of issue with worn out tires. Grip very useful to avoid losing too much time at that corner. The rest of the drivers are now in. Ellie does not improve. Emma Box does not improve either, but they might now. Ellie uses his turbo, but does brake quite heavily at that hairpin. We have Kader and Shiloh still 17th and 18th. Masker Brave is, of course, tied for 3rd with Kraft. And Juan is struggling similarly to the Russell British He's down in 16th, just ahead of them by 400ths. Ellie now 31, 32, 33, 34, just 200ths off, and it's Masca Bravas. What a lap! What a lap by Masca! That is quite something. A 33.55, and he's completely blown the rest of the drivers out of the water with that lap. Incredible stuff. Will we see any changes? I've not noticed any changes in the top 7. I've not been looking at the rest of the track. Doesn't look like anyone will improve except Boken does. Boken improves 34.38, puts him in 6th. ProLime is also ahead of Emma Box. Shiloh just 0.2 away from improving. Looks like some progress, however, for Russell British Racing. Now they're only in the second last row. Mr. Crunk and Razim behind them. Go final lap, but I doubt we see any changes. Botti and Smalls tied for 3rd. Smalls actually under the radar there has gotten into the second row. And we'll take a look at the starting grid for the race right after this qualifying session concludes. Razim and Juan cross the line. Here we go. Here it is then. Masca Brave is on pole position with a banging pole lap of 0.7 above. Excuse the dog. Then we have Smalls and Botti. Then we have Kraft, Boken, ProLime, Emma Box, Cloud, G4. Advertitos will be starting from 11th, then it's Hyper, Tefole, Gamer, Charge GT, Juan Cader, Shiloh, Mr. Crunk, and finally Razim will be starting from last. So let's get right into the race. Here we go. The Argentinian J-Prix and Masca Bravas starts off at the front with softs. It's Ellie behind him with mediums. Smalls and Botti both have packed softs. Then we have not much happening here. Botti into second already from 4th. Ellie struggling with Smalls behind. Looks like the softs are the superior tire here. ProLime getting past Kraft. Looking at the back of Ellie here, and Ellie goes wide, and it's an awful start for Ellie so far. It's Kraft. Then we have Emma Box, Boken. The Berger Kloski drivers have opted for the hards, but their acceleration is making them able to challenge the softs. Advertitos and Gamer, the 2 INRs, are into the points. Charge GT, G4, Tefole, Kader is in 14th. Shiloh up to 17th, Hyper's fallen down behind him. Razim and Juan in last, while Masca Bravas, his teammate, leads the pack. It's Botti right behind him. ProLime and Smalls are getting sort out of sorts behind, and Ellie is just managing to keep on back to the behind of Smalls. Goes around the inside, and they lose ProLime as a result, but Ellie is up into 4th now. Fastest lap of the race for Masca Bravas, 33.03 on the soft, and he's still staying in the lead, but Botti is close behind, looking to just continue behind him, just run away from the rest of the pack, and then hopefully close down and fight. And Ellie and ProLime and Smalls are still having a scrap out here for 3rd place. It's Emma Box gone away, running in 6th, then it's Kraft. Advertitos up into 8th. Boken struggling a bit, he's in 9th, then Gamer, 15, Charge GT, still looking to get into those points. Then we have Tefole, G4. Kader is still running in 14th. Doesn't look like the bottom of the pack has changed. One has gone ahead of Razim, and we're going to have heavy rain. That will benefit the soft users a lot, and all the mediums and hards are going to lose some time. Here, Botti has gotten in front of Masca Bravas just before the pits, and now they're going to pit for the wet tires. Kraft Slightly blocked there. Oh, we're having pandemonium here. Charge GT getting blocked. Cather getting blocked. Complete chaos with the pets. But it's Botti out into the lead of the race now. At his home J-Prix in Argentina. He's running first. His fellow countryman G4 is into the points. He's in 10th. So he's also having quite a good time himself. It's Botti in first. Masca Bravas has truly fallen down behind him now. And Ellie looks to be catching up to Masca on the wet tires. These are the free 4 token spenders for this race. And don't know, both Flying Fox and Electric Racing have 3 grip each, while Audi Acosta has 4, so Botti has that slight advantage in the rain with the extra grip. And he is making the most of it here. Prolime running in 4th. Currently he also has 4 grip, but he doesn't look to be able to quite bring it in here. Emma Box is up to 5th, Smalls has fallen to 6th, and it's Kraft, Boken, Edvarditos, and G4. Foley in 11th, just outside the points. Gamer has fallen down to 12th. GT in 13th. Cather running in 14th. We have Cloud, Mr. Crunk, Hyper. Shiloh's back into 18th, and then it's Juan and Razim having a battle at the end. But Botti is now 2 seconds ahead of Masca, 2.5. Well, Ellie is closing down on Masca for second, but he hits the back of him and he goes wide. And that loses him a little bit of time there. Has to brake, but he's still close to Masca. Can he close down on him again here on the straight? No, looks like Masca's got the superior speed. But now into the hairpin, both of them go a bit wide. And Masca goes really wide there, but Ellie also is unable to accelerate too quickly. None of them have gone into the pits just yet. Track's not dry enough to tempt the drivers out on the track. But let's see. Thought Boken was maybe thinking of pitting there. Looks like the weather marker is actually going towards the rain. And no, it will be sunny soon. No, it doesn't look like anyone will be pitting on this lap. No, it's Botti on his next lap already, and Ellie is in front of Masca. Pets, Masca stays out. That's quite interesting. Why has Masca Bravas chosen to stay out on the wet tires when the track is about to be fully dry? Botti has picked the hards, Ellie on the mediums, Prolime on the hards, Emma Box on the mediums, Smalls and Kraft on the softs, and it's strategy that's up to anybody, honestly. And Masca, look how much time he's lost already. Botti is nearly behind him, and he still hasn't pitted. He's going to have some trouble catching that distance back up over the course of the next 18 laps. Masca Bravas pits for the mediums. Botti is now strongly into the lead of the race, though he doesn't have quite that safe distance, as Ellie is only 1.5 seconds behind, and he looks to potentially close that gap further. He's holding down for now, but Masca has now found himself in 4th outside of the podium as a result of that blunder. Let me see here. Nothing interesting happening. G4's out of the points as Tifole finds himself in 9th at the current moment. Masca looking to close down the gap between him and Prolime. Prolime being on the harder tires, of course, as we're nearing the halfway point and we're going to have clouds soon. Ellie is also not far behind Botti, and I think the top 4 here are still very close together. And of course, these 4 drivers are the ones who spent 3 or more tokens on this race. Proline being the only one with 3 tokens, everyone else on 4. And Masca Bravas just gets his fastest lap improved to a 32.90 as he passes Prolime on the finish straight and tries to close down on Ellie, who in turn is trying to bring a challenge over to Botti here. Emma Box in 5th is 5 seconds behind them. Ellie now looks at the outside, looks at the inside of Botti. Oh, makes contact with Botti there, but does not manage to get a move on. Looks down the inside, holds it down, gets the superior traction out of the corner, and it's Ellie now into the lead of the race. Ellie, of course, on the softer tires, the mediums compared to Botti's hards, so we'll see how that benefits or hurts him in the long run. See here, battle for points. Defole's running in 10th, just very close to Edvarditos in 9th, but there's also G4 behind him in 11th, wanting points at his home race, of course. Defole is looking to struggle a bit on those softs. Edvarditos is struggling as well. Oh, let's see. Botti is just holding down right behind Ellie here, and he's got the more durable tires. Ellie will have to pit, and Botti will still be out for a couple more laps after that. Mascabrevis has looks to lose a bit of his time to them as the mediums are starting to wear, and Prolime is still looking favourable there for fighting for the podium. Vulcan Craft, Smalls, Ratito's G4 into 10th as Tifole goes into the pits, but Gamer is close behind on the mediums. Craft now looks to have lost the back of Vulcan. Will he be entering the pits? Yes, he does, and so does Smalls. We see G4 pitting off of the soft as well. Looks to have lost quite a bit of time there. Tifole is already overtaken him and he goes for the mediums. And it's Botti back into the lead of the race, and Ellie has dropped quite far behind, and it's Mascabrevis now on the back of Ellie. But both their mediums are really struggling on the track now. They should be in the pits at the end of this lap, and then they need to pick something that lasts 10 laps, I would say. Ellie pushed out wide there. Proline behind them, but he doesn't have the speed to quite catch them here, although he will overtake them. Mascabrevis stays out again. Ellie into the pits. And Mascabrevis once again. Questionable strategy, but he also did pit off of the wets a lap later, so I figure this might make more sense as a result of that. He, however, is trailing 3 seconds to Botti and has Prolime on his back, and Ellie has chosen softs, which I don't think will last him to 10 laps. I think he'll have to pit again for another set of softs, and that will be an interesting, risky strategy. We'll see how it works out for him. Prolime actually on the hards pits on the same lap as Masca. Masca onto the softs, Prolime onto the softs, and it looks like most of the drivers are going for a double softs stint to finish the race for themselves, unless they're planning to run those softs for 9 or 10 laps. And you can never put that past them, but Botti, what will he choose? He might have more luck going for the mediums for just a single stint, or just risking it like the rest on the softs and seeing what they come up with. He is on the softs, so he's got 8 laps for the softs, slightly more than the rest of them as a slow exit, and it's Ellie right now who's into the lead of the race by over 3 seconds. Botti really struggled there on his final laps while Ellie was just catching back, lost time, and Masca is close behind Botti. If they battle, which they are doing here, they might just lose more time to Ellie in front, unless Masca can catch him here. And it's down below 3 seconds, the gap's back up to 3.08. Battle for the points to follow, currently running in 9, 4 seconds ahead of Edwarditos in 10th, is just ahead of G4 in 11th. Interesting choice for G4 to only spend 1 token on his home race. Usually you see drivers spending it all on their home race, but some drivers choose not to, as Botti and Mascabravas are still fighting for second, but they are also catching Ellie, who of course did pit the earliest out of them, so he is feeling the soft tire wear effect the most out of any of them, and he has gotten past, looks like 4-lapped cars recently, and Botti has had a much easier time with them, overtaking most of them in the straight. And now Ellie gets forced a bit wide. Botti on the outside, and they're side by side. Ellie deploys his boost. Botti just keeps behind them. Going into the hairpin, keeps behind them. Hits a bit of grass, but he's still behind them here. Onto this wide turn and into the straight. Botti's got the speed. Looking for a late overtake attempt down the inside, and he forces his way through. And he is into the lead of the race now. It's Botti back into the lead of the race at the end of lap 24 here, and he's already running away from Ellie, and he's got the fastest lap of 32.85 now, beating Masca's 32.90. Botti now looking to lap his teammate, perhaps for the second time now. Ellie's still running in second, Masca behind in third, then we have Prolime, who's lost the pack quite a bit. Kraft currently in fifth, ahead of Emma Box. Then we have Boken, Smalls, Toffoli, and Edwarditos. G4 has lost the back of Edwarditos now. Botti's really gone away now. Meanwhile, Ellie's tires are suffering, and Botti has the freshest tires here, and he's out into the lead of the race. There is no chance for Botti not to win this race. 5 seconds now, and Ellie has found a Masca behind him, but Masca takes the overtake route and hits a bit of grass. Playing it a bit more safe now, doesn't want to end up in more grass, but he goes wide again. And he's struggling to find his way past Ellie here on the straight, though. He's got the superior speed, and it's Mascabravas into second. It's too little too late as Botti is about to finish. Well, no, he's midway through it. The penultimate lap. And Botti will surely be the victor here. 7 seconds gap now thanks to his overcut. That is quite something. In terms of strategy, that is quite something. And Botti now starts the final lap of the race. So let's see, do we have any battles here going on? We have Toffoli's managed to get his way up into 8th ahead of Smalls, who's on really worn out mediums. But he does have 8 seconds to Edwarditos in 10th. Ellie now lost Mascabravas. Prolime looking to maybe close down on him. Kraft looking to close down on Prolime, and he does so down the inside, and is Kraft into 4th out of nowhere. Finds his speed in those final laps, and here comes Botti across the final straight to win the Argentinian J-Prix. Mascabravas in second. Kraft, will he be able? Doesn't look like it. It's Mascabravas, and then Ellie and Kraft, so close to a Matzer podium, in fact. Prolime in 5th, Emma Box in 6th. It's Boken looking to cross the line in 7th. And yeah, incredible performances from Kraft for Matzer. He, if I remember correctly, he won the Scottish J-Prix. Spoken in 7th to Foley. Will cross the line in 8th. It's Smalls in 9th, and Charge JT beats both Eduarditos and G4 and Gamer to the final point. So it's double points for the Monkey Racing here. Eduarditos quite close behind here, but he can't find that speed for the final straight. And he finishes in 11th. Gamer in 12th. G4 will finish in 13th. 14th for Kader. 15th for Hyper, then 16th for Cloud, 17th for Mr. Crunk, 18th for Juan, 19th for Shadow, and 20th for Razim. And they'll all be down to decide the Constructors and the Drivers' Champion, all in the final round between Flying Fox and Russell British Racing, or who knows who else. But here it is, Botti wins the Argentinian J-Prix. And if you just give me a second, I'll be back with the standings for you. Here is then the Drivers' Championship. Kader is still our leader with the final round to go. Juan in 2nd, Shadow in 3rd, Kraft in 4th, just 1 point away. Then we have Razim in 5th, Botti in 6th, Masca Bravis in 7th, Hyper, Ellie, G4, Charge GT, Eduarditos, Emma Box, Cloud, Mr. Crunk, Gamer 15, Boken, Proline, Defoli, and finally Smalls for our Drivers' Championship here. And then for the Constructors, we've got RBR holding on to a 13-point lead into the final round. That means Flying Fox need at least 14 points more to score to get past Russell British Racing and get back into Challenger Virtual after only 1 season away. And that will be quite an uphill battle for them, and it'll all depend on the upgrades, it'll all depend on the qualifying, it'll depend on quite a few things. Electric Racing in 3rd with 83 points, then Matsur with 80, then Zacosta and Goal quite close, only 12 points between Electric Racing and Goal Motorsport. And 6th, then INR in 7th, Burby Koloski Racing in 8th, and then we have the Monkey in 9th, and Avionics currently in last. So that was the Argentinian J-Prix. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you for the finale in Brazil, the Interlagos circuit, the Brazilian J-Prix finale. We'll see you then.